Good evening there. Oh God, croaky voice. It's Josh here again. I don't know why I keep saying my name. Just for those of you who may be watching me on video for the first time, it is 9:15 as I speak. We've been going for a good 12 hours. I have got up out of this chair from time to time to go and get some food and a drink, etc. It's been another good day. I won't dwell on that. The aim of this video is to flick through the Stratford card for Tony, I believe, who is off racing. I had a quick flick, and I mean a really quick flick through. Well, no, I had a quick flick through when pulling together the stats for the trainer track stats for the members post, which there's only one horse that qualifies on those. It's a pretty mediocre card, I think, but we'll go through some of the tools and we'll see if anything jumps out. Before I get on to that, I received possibly the strangest email I've ever gotten. I was going to share it with you and my response, because after what was quite a good day, it didn't knock me really. I'm quite hard to knock. I just found it a bit strange, and you'll see why when I get it up here. So the email came in. Hi Josh, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to cancel my membership. And be grateful if you cancel direct debit arrangement immediately. Things haven't worked out during the flat season. I've not had a bet for a few weeks. I know you had a nice winner recently with the elite squad category, but you said yourself things have been a bit lean. I haven't said that recently, but we'll carry on. I'll be back when the 3-mile chases are the norm, as that is your strength. And I think personally, you as a statistician need to just stick to the stats. But that's just my opinion, not meant to offend. Good luck and bye for now. Anyone leaving the members club, first of all, isn't a problem. We operate a no questions asked policy in racing to profit towers. And many people leave on their own free will. Obviously, we've had about 50 new trialists in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. About 10, 15 was left before their 21 days is up. That's fine. I know this club is not for everyone. Indeed, it's for a minority, I suppose. And those that get it really get it, and those that don't simply don't, which is fine. There is a service out there for everyone, and I know the members club isn't for everyone, which is fine. The thing that confused me and knocked me back with this email is because the last 4 or 5 weeks have been the best it's ever been on Racing to Profit, both the free content and the members club. We had a really good Cheltenham Festival and Cheltenham Festival week within the members club. There was no free content that week deliberately because it's bloody tiring and it's a lot of work, and I just kept everything to members only that week, where the tips won around 65 points. April was okay. Aintree meeting we came out ahead, I think, another 16 points maybe. Those are from tips and some stats and different things. Then the flat took a little while to get going. We arguably had a quiet May, June. Then I thought of the elite squad idea because the flat stats were doing okay, but there wasn't a good systematic approach. So I'll get onto that, but I'll quickly whiz through my reply. So, hi X. Firstly, no need to apologise. No questions asked policy, so I'll get on to processing that ASAP, which is done. It's been cancelled, no problem there. Secondly, this is the most confusing email I've ever read. I assume you may not have been reading the blog for the last month or so. That would fully explain your email, which is fair enough. We took a while to warm up on the blog, both free and paid, certainly since the end of Cheltenham. This particular member joined just before Cheltenham week, and hopefully would have run around 65 points profit on the tips that week, another 16 at Aintree, but I'll leave that as an aside. You clearly can't please all the people all the time. So yeah, been in the best form it has ever been. I introduced the flat elite squads, a better systematic approach to attack the stats. Qualifiers, they have won plus 50 points since introducing just over a month. 50 points in just over a month, for about 5 weeks now. They were 1 point last week, they were plus 15 the week before that. The same for the jumps, that's starting to tick into gear, so about -2 at the moment. Big members meet the big meeting members notes continue to do well enough. They had a mediocre July, festival. They had a really good Chester May meeting, a really good Dante meeting. David O'Meara stats alone found 3 winners at 25 to 1, 28 to 1, and 56 to 1, I think, on Betfair starting price. Royal Ascot just about broke even. Some nice winners. Some others, some people would have come out ahead. Some may have broken even. Depends how you attack the stats and which ones it took a fancy to your eye. And now we're on to Goodwood and Galway, where we've had 10 to 1, 11 to 1, 33 to 1 winners. Quite a few at a shorter price. So they've been doing all right. The elite squad keeps ticking over. That has just broken through the 50 points, as I say, especially with the winner at Yarmouth yesterday. And in today's Goodwood video, so then we move on to the free posts. The Goodwood video highlighted winners at 10 to 1 and 80 to 1. Possibly 66 is when a lot of people looked. And there was a 30p rule fall, but still, we won't complain. The last 7 big races I've looked at since the Bunbury Cup, and that's not including the Galway Plate, the shortlist since the 15th of July, the shortlist of 4 or 5 horses found the winner of every race. If you'd have backed everyone, about 170 points Betfair starting price over the 2 weeks. Now, a lot of you and older longer term readers do just back the shortlist horses because they know they perform okay over time. I was strong on the Stewards Cup winner and pointed a bit towards the York winners. I wasn't so strong on some of the other shortlisted winners, but the point is they're finding winners, and those I was strong on are well ahead. Then we've got 3 mile plus chases, which was one of the criticisms in the email, which are my race choices that I like to attack. The races I like most, really. The last 3 chases I have tipped in found the winners at 12 to 1. That was the Uttoxeter Summer Cup. That was from 2 or 3 selections. Today's Galway Plate winner, which really makes it 8 big races in a row that we've found the winner since the 15th of July. And the stats shortlist of 4 for the Summer Plate and Market Race, and also found a 12 to 1 winner that I foolishly left and didn't tip. That happens. So why it knocked me was, and I will be brief and wrap this up and get onto the Stratford Clerk because we're 7 minutes in. If I cannot keep this person as a member based on the last 4 weeks of performance, then I never will. And the bit I find annoying, I suppose, if the blame is at my door, which sometimes can be the case, for how's best to put this, for ensuring that you do not get the best out of the content. I don't introduce it in the correct way. That the information within the daily posts isn't sufficient enough. And having said that, I will just flick onto today's members post. That's the key. It explains everything. It has a link to the welcome note that you can read again. It's got all the research behind different things. It's got the advised flat strategies there that you can read, and various other bits and pieces. So my point there really was that if I'm struggling to keep someone based on the last 4 or 5 weeks, then God help me. And if I'm doing something wrong, that's the annoying thing. It's my fault that you're not getting the best out of the content, or that I'm not explaining things properly. This isn't for everyone. This isn't a tips to sales, so don't say definitely back this horse. There are members watching this now who will have backed some of today's winners. They'll have backed some of yesterday's winners. I mean, there were 10 winners on the members post yesterday. I didn't back them all. Some would have backed them all. Some would have backed 1 or 2. Some would have had some tickles on various horses today. The key is to stick to an approach that you like, to bet steady, to start small, and to enjoy yourself over time. That's the key thing. If you're after quick wins in this game, you won't get them. You'll just keep changing and flipping from service to service, which is fine. My members club is different. The idea is it proves itself. If you like it, you stay, brilliant. If it's not for you, you leave. No problem. That is the point of the trial. But the last 4 or 5 weeks have been the best it's ever been on the blog. So hopefully some of you have backed a few winners in the last month or so and are happy with progress. And if you think I should be doing anything better, or there are things that I could improve on, please do say. Post a comment or send me a private email. All fair, polite criticism is welcome. All comments are welcome. All posts are welcome. I'll reply to everything. I'll listen to everything. I'll take everything on board. But I thought it was going rather well. And I thought we had a good day. Anyway, I thought I'd share that. No need to get the violins out. Please don't feel sorry for me. I've luckily have turned a hobby into a business, so I know I'm lucky on that front. So I won't complain. I just found that a very, very odd and strange critique based on recent history, and mainly since the start of the Cheltenham Festival. But there we go. Let's crack on to Stratford. um, and we'll start smiling and upbeat. Stratford it is, pretty weak card. Go on Henry is the only qualifier for the trainer track stats. Um, uh, yeah, so he ran quite well the last day, I thought. Uh, that was after quite a break. There's a question that he might bounce. He's got a bigger weight here, which suggests it is worse opposition, doesn't it? He's had a lower weight in a better race, a worse race, or he's got a higher weight here. So this race may not be as strong. He's still got his jockey on. I mean, he ran well there. There's a chance he bounces. He gets first time cheek pieces or reapplied cheek pieces, I should say. They may make a difference. Who knows? At 10 to 1, I would probably have an each way bet on him. I can remember watching him the last time because he qualified on the stats the last time as well, where he ran well at 14 to 1. In theory, he might come on for that run. Like I said, he might bounce and just be tailed off and be moderate. We have a Dan Skelton short-priced horse. Team Skelton is going along fine. They're a yard in form. We can see by this drop down that he has good stats. You could have put £1 on every horse that he got new to the yard in the last 2 years, and you'd have won 16. 32% win, nearly 60% win and place with stable new recruit. So that's probably why he's a short price. The horse is a 14 race maiden. I mean, has placed 4 times over fences. In fairness, it was running well when last seen and was in form and is unexposed enough. So I can see why it's a short price. If you're at the track and you want the winner, he does tick plenty of boxes. He's doing something different. He's fairly lightly raced for his age. He's got the only trainer who's in form. I won't be backing him at 13 to 8 at the races. You might want to put him in a play spot. You might want to have a win or save on him. I would have a each way go on Henry at 10s. I see no reason not to. He did run well the last day. He could come on for the run further, and he may be in the mix. What else have we got? There's a Kerry lead chaser. I mean, you can see by this, the win stats is a pretty poor race. The ground, I should mention, it is kind of good to soft. There's a chance that they have some further rain showers, so let's just look on good to soft. Drumlang might look interesting. He ticks a few boxes, class 5, a long way below his last winning mark, which kind of suggests he's probably really regressive. At least Go on Henry's placed a couple of times at the track. So Drumlang, oh, he's 11-year-old and he's been off the track 317 days. I mean, the market may well guide. The trainer is only 1 from 38 with horses returning after a 60-day or longer break. That's quite a negative to my mind. What else do I want to highlight? Oh yeah, I was just going to have a look to see if the ground was soft. So who's got winning form on soft? Irish Thistle. Again, it's a class 5 chase. They're pretty moderate. They're pretty inconsistent animals. I wouldn't kind of be betting unless there was a stats qualifier, which we have, or I was going racing. I'm not sure if any of these front runners will necessarily stay there. I should think, I mean, he can track the pace, the favourite. So, yeah, I'd be looking at the favourite and Go on Henry, I think, would be the two that I would probably focus on. What's the time? What are we doing? 14 minutes. Then we have a selling hurdle. Oh, dear. It's not really a betting race, is it? The 2 shortest horses are from the 2 yards in form. Ollie Murphy has been working wonders recently. He takes this horse, let me just have a look, has been running on the flat as well. It's 2 from 6 over hurdles. Was that when trained by Gordon Elliott? Possibly. So interesting, comes from the flat. Hasn't been running that well, has been fancied enough the last 2 runs. Well, last time out, especially one at Brighton. Doing something different. I can see why Milrose favourite, dropping from class 2 handicaps It was only 2 starts ago. He was running well here in a Class 2 handicap, and now he finds himself in a Class 5 selling hurdle. I can't think there's much point in taking him on. You only have to look at the ratings, 127 and 116. If those two run up to form, they should be in the mix. That is a race where I would just watch, try and get through the place pot, go to the bar. I think Tony might be sat at the bar or stood at the bar, I think, from reading one of his comments for most of the meeting here. Then we move on to a handicap hurdle. Is there anything here? I'm kind of drawn to these green C5s, which is an indication of the trainer doing well at the track. As you can see there, Comanche Chieftain is 3 from, well, Neil King's 3 from 6 in the last year at the course. He does pretty well. Let's have a look at his record here in handicap hurdles. Handicap hurdle course. So that's all right. 4 from 21, 11 places. I mean, they're consistent. We can look at the distance. So he's 3 from 11, 8 places at this distance, at this course and distance. Class 1 from 5. So the trainer stats decent enough. Then we've got the jockey, who's 1 from 2 at the track. He's a £7 claimer who has ridden winners, so that's good. Handicaps, yeah, nothing to worry about there really. Looks like he might have some talent. How's the yard going? Okay, the horse looks to be in form, and he looks like he's unexposed. Novice hurdle, into a handicap hurdle here. What else we got? Another Dan Skelton horse, workbench, 9-year-old. Was a bit out of form in last scene, but the yard's going well. Kitau's in form. That might be of interest, unlike the horse. He looks awfully out of form. Let's have a look at Instant Expert. Does anything jump out? Tamarillo Groove has a line of consistent orange across the bottom. £24 below last win. Let's have a look at good to soft and soft. Or good to soft, too soft. Yeah, so Tamarillo Grove on looks like with any cut. Let me just see. Yeah, so Tamarillo Grove looked good. If there isn't much good in the ground, you'd have to be concerned. He's 0 from 14 on ground with any cut. So having looked okay, not so much. Likewise with the Comanche Chieftain, having looked at him and thinking, oh, he might be interesting. He is 0 from 6 on ground, good to soft, and good to soft through to soft. So that would be a concern. Shining Romeo, and in terms of form on the going, you'd be Shining Romeo authorised 2. So this looks a really tricky little race, doesn't it? You can tell by the market. 1, 2, 3 horses around 3 to 1. It looks like that's probably the place to focus. I can't think very often you'd get all 3 of those out of the frame. So then you've got a question of what to do. Well, this one handles soft. Quinn was in great form the other week. He had a couple just absolutely dot up. Yeah, he was 4 from 9. Last time out winners, which this isn't. That's because that last run was on the flat. Let's have a look. So yeah, sorry, yeah, he was a last time out winner at Yarmouth and a winner before that. And his second was a novice hurdle. So if you look at his hurdle here, he's run twice over hurdles, 1 win, 2 places. Won a maiden hurdle, went clear. Novice hurdle might have bumped into one. They've run well since. Subsequent runners, those 2 wins will be him. But is this probably handicap hurdle debut? I should think so. So I would kind of think, because of the likely going, I would be tempted to say that Shining Romeo looks like the interesting one if you're going to the races at 3 to 1. I'm just trying to look here if this horse has form on any kind of soft ground. Not really. The thing is, his soft heavy ground form was in novice maiden hurdles. He was expected to run well actually, and he didn't. So maybe the ground is an issue for him. I wouldn't say it's confirmed. Authorised 2 comes from the flat. Let's just have a quick look. Let's have a look at hurdle form. 2 from 11, 7 places. So again, he's okay over hurdles. I'd probably go Shining Romeo, just because he's unexposed and he's booked Richard Johnson. Too short for me to play sat at home. I haven't looked at that in loads of depth, but if I was at the track, you want to back winners, backing a short price isn't a problem. I would say Shining Romeo looks most exciting or interesting there. Comanche, I don't know what's going on here. We've got double horses all over the place. Comanche Chieftain will be up there. It is not impossible that he gets an easy lead here. And then Shining Romeo may not be far away. So depending on how much ground, if you're at the track, you could do a cheeky reverse forecast maybe. Comanche Chieftain and Shining Romeo. I wouldn't advise doing that if you're not going to the racing. These exotic bets never go well for me. I'd be kind of looking at those two, I think. And because of the ground, if the rain comes, it's already good to soft apparently. A slight preference for Shining Romeo, but I won't be dogmatic about that. Blimey, we're at 20 minutes. A novice handicap chase. This doesn't look of much great interest either. These horses are generally poor. Good to soft. Theo is 6-4, so we've got another short price favourite. He ticks every box in terms of going. Class is fine. What else have we got? While You Wait looks interesting, but 20-1. Pemba. I mean, in kind of these kind of races, that can pay to side with the market. We have Theo, the trainer's in form. I mean, the horse is running over fences for the first time, is he? Well, he's been running over hurdles. Let's have a look. Yes, he makes his chase debut. Backing a horse who's been running over hurdles quite a lot at 6-4 on chase debut isn't for me personally. If he takes to it, he may well hack up, but I kind of don't fancy that. We've got Skelton again in form with his trainer change. He's got yet another horse from another yard. Again, this one is having his first chase. Yeah, so he's running for the first time over fences. But he's probably been trained to run over fences, and at least he mentally won't have been running over hurdles in theory. So out of the two at the top of the market, just based on that, and because he's doing something different, new to the yard, handicap chase debut, I would go for the Skelton horse personally, and I would take on the Newland horse for the reasons explained. You've got a lot of horses here who have a fitness question, an unknown. I should suspect the Skelton horse will be fit. We've got the Bowen horse. At least he has experience of fences, but he didn't exactly run well last time. Quickly dropped back and tailed off. Yes, that was after a long break. Maybe he'll come on for it. So if you and Bowen is in form, so if you wanted to play a bigger price one for change at the course, Bowen's in form. He's got good course form. There's an excuse possibly for that run. He didn't have the tongue tie on, as you can see there. Which might be why he stopped quickly, and it was returning after, well, his first run since November. So he's clearly unexposed over fences as well, only his second start. At least he showed some ability and did kind of win and run well in the Class 4 handicap. So yeah, we've got 8 runners, haven't we? Hopefully not too many non-runners. I would have a look at fair to middling as an each way little poke at 12-1. A concern if this goes proper soft. There would be a concern, so I would keep stakes small. And out of the 2 at the top of the market, I would fancy Riley Mountain personally. And I might not have even mentioned the winner, but it's a poor race, and I'm going to move on. Handicap chase, Class 5. Oh, it's dire fare again, isn't it? No Trainers in outstanding form. Fingers crossed something leaps off the page here. Let's say there's going to have been some rain, so it's going to be good to soft. Moreland's Mist is looks okay. This is a weird distance, 2 miles 6 furlongs. Let's just go up to 3, so I can change the distance. And I just want those who I know definitely stay. I mean, this just doesn't look great, does it? Good to soft to soft. Moreland's Jack definitely likes a sounder surface, so it will depend on the rain. If there's no rain and it stays good, well, that's already on the easy side. I'd kind of be wary of that. Moreland's Mist is interesting just on the going. 10-1 as well. Trainer change. Let's have a look. Oh, well, so his old form was for another trainer, Miss S. Ender. 15 horses run in the last 2 years, 60 days or more, none have placed. Only one from 30 with all handicap runners, two from 40 all runners. 10-year-old, maybe I'll leave. Moreland's missed his 12, kind of needs a sound surface. I don't think he's getting that here. There's quite a few older horses. I would be tempted to just look at the younger legs here. We've got McNally bringing one over from Ireland, who Dickie Johnson rides. He wouldn't want to be held up too far here. He does have a stamina question, but he's 6-4. Looks interesting. Brave Helos comes from hurdling and has had a weird number of days off, 50 days off for a jumps horse. And he's 0 from 5 over fences. He doesn't exactly look prolific. 5-2 for that, probably be a bit short for me given the break. Anything else that's younger, fled or pled? Well, he's 5. Let's have a look. Held up in rear when fell 4 out. That was his first run over fences. He did show some ability over hurdles. They held him up there, probably to give him experience of the fences. He didn't clearly have a good experience having fell, the poor boy, but he returns here. Been dropped 6 pounds, is he? Blimey, yeah. He's unexposed. He's had one chase start and he's 5 against quite a lot of older horses and quite a lot who have questions to answer, all bar the favourite. There's probably not much there I can say to put you off the favourite. Winning chaser last time out, 15 runners, probably a decent race. I suspect he is going to stay. And you've just got a lot of old boys here, a lot that seem to be completely out of form. It's a smaller field. He's been dropped. He needs sounder surface. I'd be looking at an each way bet if all 8 line up at fled or pled, but I'd probably have a little each way tickle if I was at the track at 12s. And I wouldn't put you off backing the favourite. If you want to back a winner, he is in form. He looks progressive enough. He is 8. How many chases has he had? Yeah, he's only had 2, so there could be a lot more to come. There's probably a slight stamina question, but he's, well, from that right up, he stayed on strongly. That was a race that was probably run at a decent clip. The question is pace, and there's not much. It depends if he's held up again. Dickie Johnson rarely holds up chasers. He might have been held up because he was inexperienced as well. I'd probably expect a more forceful ride, especially if the money's down. If they think he's the best horse in the race, they might just say sod it. Race handy, let's go for it. Kilcaston didn't do much. He might lead for a time, but he's 13. He's had 100 days off. The poor boy. You've got to love these admirable veterans. And he has never won after a break of 60 days or more. So you are asking a 13-year-old to do something completely new. So I wouldn't bother personally. I don't like Brave Helios. I don't like the break. I don't like the fact he's had 5 chases and yet to win. And there's probably a going question as well. So we are focused on this one. If it's generally, Moreland's Jack's interesting if it is firmer, but he's 12. No, the trigger, fled or pled. Win bet the trigger. Each way fled or pled. The trigger might well beat fled or pled. If he stays on his feet, he's in the could be anything category and he's got younger legs, so he could run a decent race. That'll do for that. Maiden hurdle, give us all strength, 28 minutes. This one definitely will be done within 30. Let's whiz through this. Well, we clearly won't be because that's only 2 minutes away, but you get my point. Good to soft, good to soft. None have form on good to soft, or only have winning form on soft. Ocean 11, so that's interesting. At least he's won on the ground. If rain does come and in the class, that might make him a bet as it is. Let's have a quick look there. Mulholland has a trainer change horse here who looks well fancied. He does quite well with new recruits, or solid. He wouldn't be put off. His horses are going okay. He comes here, at least he showed some ability. He drops into class 5. This is a really poor race, isn't it? My word. Phoenix Park, first start for him. It looks like he's gotten from the point to point field. Dennis is only 1 from 32 with horses having their first start for him. We've got Alan King. They're going okay. Some have played Hutchers here. So Alan King has run 8 horses here the last year, 4 have won. He's run 53 in total, 15 have won. Let's have a click on Alan and have a quick look at the course and hurdles, non-handicap. Yeah, non-handicap hurdles, Alan King at Stratford is 18 runners, 6 have won, 50% have won or placed. Solid. 2 from 4 over distance. Class, no, he hasn't had any in class 5 yet, but they're National Hunt flat. Let's have a look with Wayne Hutchison, 4 from 12, 5 places in non-handicap hurdles, trainer and jockey. Given the rest are pretty exposed and have kind of had quite a few runs, I would throw a chance at 11-2 on the 4-year-old. He's got cheap piece for the first time. He's running over a summer maiden hurdle, so he probably doesn't have a lot of quality. It may not be at Alan King's yard for long, but I would give McCall's Gold because he's got a slightly different profile. And let's give him a go. 11-2, McCall's Gold. We'll do that. You can see the reason why, the trainer form, the way in, that little green symbol. I'm a bit put off by the Dennis horse by this 1 from 32 stat and the trainer form, which might not count well for Pledo I just touched on in the last race, but he is double the price. So McCall's Gold, let's not faff about. Let's just back him. Did he run on the flat? Yeah, at least he won. And he now puts him over hurdles. So maybe this slower pace, or he might just be moderate, but sod it. Let's go with him. And now we're on a novice handicap hurdle. What immediately jumps out to me is the form of Peter Bowen, a 14 and a 13. He's in form. His horse is in form. Midfield, found extra towards the finish. He's gone up £7, but that might be all right. 5-2, that's another favourite that I couldn't really put you off. You've got a horse in form, and you can see from across the top box here, he also ticks all the boxes. He's won in good to soft. He's won at the class. He's won at the distance. And there's nothing else here. Eddie has run 9 times over the distance and as yet hasn't done anything. He has won over a bit further. He hasn't. Nothing else here. Class looks 22. So it's an each. Well. Let's have a look. What was I saying? Eddie. Pace. Let me just have a look at pace. Anything going to get away on the front end? It's not impossible. The Jeremy Scott horse has a kind of interesting time at the front. So if you wanted a pace angle, Guerrilla Tactics, they would be that. Storm at the front. And he's stepping into a novice handicap hurdle. He's not moving up in distance, but he was soon one paced. Interesting. What is Jeremy Scott with handicap hurdle debutants? So yeah, that's okay. He's had 20 making handicap debuts, 3 have won, 6 have placed. His yard is going okay, 1 from 6. I mean, he doesn't have the greatest track record, in fairness. Course, handicap, hurdle. 2 from 16, 5 places is okay, isn't it? I mean, it's not disastrous. And 1 from 6, 3 places in class 3. So interesting. Guerrilla Tactics might make all. They might change tactics now that he's out of a maiden hurdle, and he hasn't exactly done much. But 7-1, I'd probably take a chance that they might make all. Eddie is at least in form, but he's had 57 days off. But he's going well. Sue Gardner, is she in form? Going okay. Last time out winner, she does okay. So that's interesting. I would say Guerrilla Tactics to try and make all, and if he doesn't, the Peter Bowen horse probably picks up the pieces and wins. He does okay with last time out winners. It is his second start in a handicap. Those stats aren't brilliant, but they're not too bad either. So I'd kind of say guerrilla tactics to make all, and if he's rubbish, held up, doesn't make all, just isn't any good, hopefully Cougar's Gold can do it. That's a slightly different mindset. I've deliberately gone through this card with the idea that I'm at the races and I want to back some winners. This is very much a through the card because you're off to the races. You can see what I've picked out there. Some ones at a decent price who look like they should be competitive at a good price, and some more favoured ones who look like they probably are the most likely winners. And when you go racing, you do want 2 or 3 winners to cheer, so nothing wrong there. Hopefully you have found that useful. What I am going to do, actually, if you still want to watch for a couple of minutes, is just, hope you can see that. This is Inform Racing, which is what I use also for the Inform Speed Rating stats within the members post. And we've got Stratford, so I've ordered them with these master ratings and the MA, and just kind of put the top rated. So if you're going, you might want a notepad, but you could just note down the kind of top rated horses if you wanted. Here we've got Irish Thistle and a Soccer Star. They both look good on the master plus the whatever it is average. So I'm just going to flick through these. You can take down a note. This ability number is quite big for Irish Thistle, so that might be of interest. So Irish Thistle there, might want to tick a box, although last time out was pretty poor. But yeah, there we go. I'm just going to do these. You can do this information what you want. The 2 o'clock's the one with the tricky one. We've got Milrow, who's top rated. That's not a race I'd kind of play in really personally. 235 Comanche Chieftain. Now he will try and make all for Tim Vaughan, wasn't it, and Dickie Johnson. So he looks interesting to a point. Who did I like in that? I forget. Authorized 2 was the interesting one, and oh yeah, Shining Romeo, who's unexposed. We thought it'd be between Comanche Chief and Authorized 2 and Shining Romeo. So if the ground's a concern for Comanche Chieftain, but if it's good ground on the Inform speed stats, etc., he looks decent enough. But I still like Shining Romeo, I think. 310 Theo and While You Wait are at the top. Not much to say there. Moreland's Mist, Moreland's Jack, Brave Helios. I kind of like Fled or Pled. The Trigger, I'm not sure how the Irish stats work, but it's all a bit average racing. His Master Plus average is okay. I like Fled or Pled, and kind of each way bigger price, because there's a lot of old horses in that. Might have a bit of fun. Boy in a Bentley in the maiden hurdle, that's the Mulholland newcomer. He ticks a lot of boxes, so he probably has the best form in the book. McColl's Gold hasn't run over hurdles before, so no ratings there. But Boy in the Bentley may be interesting. If McCall's Gold is useless, he might be the most likely winner on those stats. And finally, Starlight Night and Eddie are near the top. I like Guerrilla Tactics, at least his top 3 on the master and expected or average even. That's if they try and make all. Hopefully they do. So that's that. I'm going to leave that there. That's been another short video, hasn't it? But if you're going to Stratford, or even if you're not, I hope you found that of some use. That will be the only video for Thursday. I will have a look at the Galway plate, the Galway handicap hurdle at some point, if I can, the big one. And we shall see what's called the Galway hurdle, isn't it? We'll see if we can find the winner of that and make it 9 big races in a row that the stats shortlist has worked. But for now, thank you for watching. Thank you for persevering. I hope you found that of interest. And until the next time, I'm sure it won't be long, this is Josh saying good evening and goodbye for now.